Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. How you gonna react when you're put in the back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the smackdown.
Alright guys, back again, section 19. Got a request. This is next fight for a request. This comes from Matt Smith. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and once again, show some respect and love for Mr. Smith's request. So we have Mr. Frank Castle, the Punisher, versus Max Payne. Yeah, Punisher versus Max Payne. Let's kick this off, shall we? All right, let's kick it off with the Punisher. Is practically the best known anti-hero in the comic book game. Frank Castle, we all know the story. Marine, he was a decorated Marine. Came home, spent time with his family, his wife and son and daughter, I believe. Yeah, I think he had a daughter. Yeah, it was his daughter. Yeah, daughter. And they got caught in the path of a mafia hit, and they died. Frank didn't, and you know the story from there. It just turned into punishing those who hurt his family, but also just punishing crime, his war on crime. Punisher takes no prisoners. He is the type of guy that you don't want to be fucking with. Gotta call it like I see it. This is the type of guy that all the other heroes in the Marvel Universe don't really like. They have not a lot of good things to say about Frank. They feel that he crosses the line. Well, some of them, most of them. They feel that, as a hero, we're not supposed to cross that line of killing, but he doesn't feel, because in his mind, it's like these guys are not going to stop. They're going to keep doing what they do. Nothing's going to stop them. So a bullet to the head or wherever is going to take him out. And that's how he feels about things. He doesn't really get along with a lot of the other heroes of the Marvel Universe. Daredevil has not a lot of good things to say about him. Cap, Spider-Man, a lot of people. There are certain heroes that don't really mind his tactics. But as a former Marine, it's that military background that just makes him, and we're talking about Marines, and a Marine, to me, is one of the most highly decorated field in the armed forces. Navy SEALs up there as well. But you got to respect the Marine. Once you hear somebody say a Marine, it's like, oh shit. Like, they know the art of combat. And, his weapon skills, his combat training, this guy knows all those fields. Like, it's like riding a bike to Frank. And he has caused major hurt to many mafia families in the Marvel Universe, and they fear this guy. They fear him, and I would say some may even respect him, but it's a lot of fear. Frank Castle is one of those characters you don't screw around with, ladies and gentlemen. So we move on to his combatant in this, and this character is Mr. Max Payne. Now, we saw Mr. Max Payne way back in 2001. He was pretty much a NYPD officer. He was an officer, also undercover special agent for the DEA. And he's a mixture of all those hard edge, characters. You can think of John McClane. I would say a little bit of Dirty Harry up in there. Those kind of characters. Because he's the kind of character that can get out of situations that you would think he's just a cop, that was framed for framed for murdering his police partner, his former partner, and of course, following the murder of his family. Family was killed. Now, as a cop, his detective skills are great, and his weapons training is good, but it's not on terms of like Frank Castle. But he's kind of what I feel is a broken character, because we've seen over time, especially in the third game, he really became more broken. Like he's pretty much that character that became more of a drunk and still trying to find some peace within himself. And that was the hardest thing about looking at Max in that third game. He calls himself he's an anti-hero. He pretty much is, as he's himself has stated. I was not one of them. I was no hero. He's not a hero. Pretty much, he will take any means necessary to getting the job done, in a sense. And it's almost like like it's like a mirror image of Frank, in a sense. Max is that type of character you don't want to screw around with. You don't, because he's just become more violent than ever. Look at that third game. He's more violent than ever, and it's scary to see. Like it's scary, because sometimes when I look at Max in that game, it's like sometimes, is the engine running? Is anybody behind that wheel? In terms of that, but that's just a little bit about Max Payne, in a sense. So let's move on to the battle breakdown for this debate. Mr. Matt Smith gave us a pretty decent fight here. A fight that you can basically see in any shoot 'em up movie. Both of these individuals have no powers. They have no all it is skill and training that they've got in their various fields. But this is a fight. It's almost like Frank is going to be looking in the mirror, because he may understand Max's hey, I understand. I can understand what you're going through. My family was killed and things like that too. So I can kind of see maybe a fight deter and may go like punch for punch, blow for blow. After a while, maybe not a gunfight. I could probably see a gunfight at times, but maybe then unarmed combat fight. That's just gonna push each other's will. It's like, okay, who could take the most punches? Who's gonna be able to take more? But I just see Frank really dominating, in a sense, of Max, in terms of a firefight and maybe even a hand-to-hand combat fight. I think Frank has more combat skills than Max. That's just me. But do I see one of them killing each other? Maybe. But I also can see, Frank just like, or Max like, yo, you know what? You're not the enemy. Let's just stop this. I can see that like they can find a kindred spirit in each other. That's just me once again. But I leave it up to you guys on this fight. The Punisher, Frank Castle from Marvel Comics, or Max Payne from Rockstar. Yeah, I guess you could say Rockstar. Yeah. And show some love and respect to Matt Smith. This was his creation, guys. I'm just the guy that delivered it. I can't wait to see what you guys think about this fight. Be honest and true. What do you think? Who would win in this fight? And I will see you guys next time. Battle on.